As someone who has only visited 3 states and lived in Arizona for the past 20 years, I was always accustomed to staying in my comfort zone and feeling safe surrounded by familiarity. I've been to London, Paris, and Barcelona before on a spring break trip with my Spanish class in high school, but at the time I had never lived more than 30 minutes away from close friends or family. Although many of my friends were studying together in Barcelona, I decided early on that I wanted to travel by myself so I would be forced to branch out and experience being fully independent. That is why I chose to study abroad in Prague during the spring 2017 semester. I can still vividly remember that February morning when I finally got off my flight and stepped outside the airport. The fog was thick, snow covered the ground, and there was a chilly breeze. I had no idea what to expect, and the whole thing seemed surreal, but all I could do was smile as I sat in a taxi that drove me through Prague and to the residence hall. I couldn't believe I was going to stay in a city thousands of miles away from my home in Arizona, a city where people spoke a different language and it actually got much colder than 40 degrees. I knew I would have many great experiences, but I had absolutely no idea at the time what a significant impact study abroad would have on me. One of my first mornings in Prague, I went to a coffee shop down the street from my dorm. Ordering a coffee that morning was one of the first challenges study abroad threw at me. The barista spoke no English, and none of the menus were in English. Still, I was determined to try my first coffee in Prague. I used the power of pointing and body language to order something that looked sort of like coffee, spelled in Czech. I sat down and waited for a few minutes, and to my surprise, they brought over the smallest glass of espresso I had ever seen, and it was served on a large, fancy platter. I could easily drink it in one normal sip, but I decided to pretend like I knew what I was doing. So I sat there for a good 30 minutes, sipping my 1-ounce shot of espresso, observing the cafe and the Czech locals coming in and out. In this little coffee shop, I learned my first lesson. Just go with it and always have an open mind. This attitude I established early on and maintained throughout the semester is what allowed me to learn and grow. Whether it be people watching in a coffee shop, hanging out with the Czech locals and other international students, or hearing Czech professors give new perspectives on international business and economics. It all contributed to my change in attitude, and it reshaped my goals. I went from someone who was comfortable around familiarity to someone who now grows restless around familiarity and constantly aspires to be a global learner and leader. Study abroad helped spike my excitement for my major in economics and made me want to learn and try new things. I'm already planning my next trip abroad, and I still practice Czech 5 months after being back from my adventure, because I know that I will definitely go back to Prague soon.